Look, I get it. Everyone wants to know, how could this have happened? What would make me do such a thing? What was I thinking? That's why I'm doing this vlog in a closet before they stop me. I owe you an answer. And the answer is in this thing. Now, I could open it and you could look inside and see your future. But before I do, I want to tell you what happened in my own words. The truth is, I was in love. I could smell it. Those of you who've been in love, I mean, you know what I'm talking about. It's like that new car smell. Or maybe it's more like a carnival afternoon. The air reeking with corn dogs. You know, I have always wondered what kind of a thrill dogs get out of sniffing each other's butt. I'm sure it's a chemical thing, but clearly it's intoxicating, kind of like an addiction, you know? Or maybe for them it's more like reading the newspaper. I used to go around all day with my face screwed up. A coworker took a picture of me just to show me what I looked like, and I was one really sour guy. Until that day, the day I heard music. Or maybe it was more like the tinkle of glass shattering up and down the street, like during a riot. On that day, I could imagine myself sitting at one of those intimate tables, you know, with the candles and napkins, and reaching across that table and grasping those soft, delicate hands and looking into those eyes and saying, I'm yours. I'm yours, Mr. President. Now let's make America. Wednesday morning, the day after the election, I am back at work with a smile on my face. No more Mr. Sourpuss. I expect my coworkers to be pretty charged too. I know not everybody will be as excited, but when I think about how backslapping happy they were when Obama got elected, I mean, I get it. I feel it. Betty Mullen, our receptionist, always with a kind word and a sweet smile, something I rely on to get my day started, she was sobbing. I mean, like sucking air, sobbing. Betty, are you okay?
Oh, Al, yesterday you were just a funny guy with strange ideas, but now...
But now what? It's okay, you can... And right then Rashid burst through the front door, his finger pointing at me. Don't! Betty, what did he say to you?
Nothing. He said nothing. Oh, Rashid, how could this have happened?
And then Marla slumps in, her face a roadmap of horror, and cries, Are we dreaming? Or are we living the nightmare? Okay, so now I'm starting to panic because I think, well, maybe somebody got murdered, or worse, we lost our jobs. So I just shout out, What the hell happened? Silence. And I will never forget that look on their faces. Almost a kind of quizzical disgust. You know, like, how could I be so dense? And then it hit me. Hey guys, this is a win for you too. All these months you've been hounding me because I never vote. You said I couldn't complain if I didn't vote. You were encouraging everyone, even people you disagreed with, to vote because you said that was our responsibility. And so I did. And my candidate won. And my vote really made a difference. So thank you. You got me to vote. I got who I wanted. It's a win-win. That might have been the wrong thing to say because they just turned their backs on me and went to work. Hey, okay, he's going to shake things up. But they needed shaking up. You said so yourself. At the end of the day, I got called into the owner's office. Mr. Stone, I'm going to have to ask you to leave off the gloating. I wasn't gloating. You need to keep your political opinions outside the workplace. It's not good for employee morale. I couldn't believe what she was saying. All these months they went around with their Feel the Burn and I'm With Her t-shirts railing against Trump. I listened to it. Didn't hurt my morale. I got inspired to do something about it. But when I bring it up, Okay. Yeah, I get it. You're right. We're here for business. We're here to make some money. I'm good with that. I'll keep my opinions outside of work. I'm back in Mrs. Solomon's office. Mr. Stone, did you tweet, and I quote, "Trump site hacked by Iran, stay strong DJT, keep murderous cult of terror from our shores"? Well, the media was putting out a lie about Trump backing off from the Muslim ban, and I just wanted to show I wasn't buying it. I spoke to you yesterday about employee morale. I tweeted that outside of work. Well, it's found its way into work. Rashid showed it to me. Rashid? You mean I have a follower? I want you to apologize to him. Well, why? I didn't direct that. Is Rashid Muslim? I did not know that, but what difference? I was talking about the other Muslims that want to come here to kill us. His family lives in Iran. Well, if they haven't done anything, they've nothing to worry about. Apologize, or I'll be forced to reconsider your position here. She opened the office door and I staggered out. I mean, what was I going to do? Okay. No, you're right. I'll do the responsible thing. I'll shove the potato up the old exhaust pipe. Hey, Rashid. Hey, buddy. Listen, I didn't mean your family, the ones you abandoned in Iran. I'm sure they're good people in their way. So I hope you can accept it. Accept what? What I said just now. What did you say just now? You know, that I was trying, I wanted to apologize. I just want to set things right, even though I didn't do anything wrong. Just like Trump. Never apologize, never show any weakness, which of course is his weakness. There's not going to be a wall. It's going to be a fence, maybe. And Mexico isn't going to pay for it, we are. Good choice, Al. Oh, and the next time you want to apologize, try, "I'm sorry." He turned the corner and was gone. Mrs. Solomon down the hall with her arms crossed just glared at me. I've got an okay job. I work for Solomon's Fortune Cookies in the shipping department. But I was born to write the fortunes in those cookies. Most fortune cookie companies, they push junk like a smile is your passport into the hearts of others, or today is the first day of the rest of your life. Those aren't fortunes. A fortune needs to predict something. You will find a mud-encrusted bag filled with gold. Anyone receiving that fortune, when they see a mud puddle, they see their future. I saw Mrs. Solomon signal me into her office. Mr. Stone, I'm going to insist that you get help with your anger issues. I'm not angry. I asked you to apologize, and you couldn't or wouldn't do it. There's something going on here, and I won't have it infecting the team. This is your last chance, Al. This workshop meets tonight and every Thursday night for 6 weeks. It's a group session, so there'll be others there with similar issues. I hope they can help you. Mrs. Solomon, did you get a chance to read the latest fortunes that I wrote? You do well at shipping, Al. If you work hard, you could work your way up to shipping supervisor. After work, I headed home. As I approached the bus stop, Betty grabbed me by the arm. You can do it, Al. The anger management classes? Think of it this way. As long as you go to the classes, you have job security for 6 weeks. So you think I should stay? You do a good job. You wrote my favorite fortune. We are still scanning the universe for your fortune. Please check back. Oh, I was just trying to be funny. I know. You're a good guy, Al. I may not share your vision for the future, but I keep checking back. Betty has the prettiest blue eyes. They're worth a fortune all their own. Embrace the heavens. When you see a pair of pulsing stars, it'll come to me. But you know, I feel lighter. I feel as if the Berlin Wall blocking my destiny has crumbled. The wall! The wall! I know how to save the wall! Dear Mr. President, there's going to be a wall. Mexico is going to pay. This is how we do it. First of all, it's got to be a big, huge, beautiful wall. And it's got to be so high no one could ever climb over it. And it's got to be so deep they'll never crawl under it. But they will be able to walk right through it. Every 20 miles, we embed a casino into the wall. An immigration casino. All illegals will be welcomed through the Mexico side. And then instead of paying a smuggler a ton of money to sneak them into the country, they can put that money down on any game in the house. And if they win, they're in. And if they lose, we give them a bus ride back home. Now, the bus rides are important because those will be Mexican jobs, and the wall guards and casino employees will be American jobs, so it's a win-win for both sides. And best of all, we'll set the gaming odds high enough so Mexico will have paid for the wall. You're welcome, Al Stone. The anger management class was in one of those glass monstrosities. I went up to the 23rd floor, stepped inside. There were maybe like 25 or 30 people. Oh, wait a minute, this isn't right. Excuse me, I'm sorry, I'm looking for the anger management class. Yes, please. Come in. We're all here coping with our rage. I looked at all the people coping. Their mouths are turned down, their eyes red and swollen. All of them wearing t-shirts that said, I'm with her and stronger together. You know, the ones with that humongous red infected phallus penetrating that big fat H. Oh, and then in the back there's one guy with this ribcage popping through his t-shirt that read, Feel the Burn. What's your name? Oh, Al Stone. Al, we're all here sharing the reason that brought us to the workshop. Why are you here? Well, my boss told me I'd have to take it or I'd lose my job. And what did you do specifically that precipitated this action on the part of your employer? Well, I don't know, really. I think I was too happy. I think that was upsetting my coworkers. All right, everyone, listen up. Al has given us the perfect example of why it's important for us to open up about our rage. Denial is the first symptom of a deep-seated rage. Transference, in this case using happiness to mask that rage, confirms his commitment to suppress the anxiety. Yes, Susan, you have a question?
Yes, I was wondering if Al could tell us what he thinks was making him too happy.
Oh, sure. I voted for Trump. The silence that followed was interrupted by a deep groaning from the bowels of the earth, as if the planet were about to crack in half. And then Susan started to laugh. And then another guy. And soon everyone is laughing and smiling and giving me the thumbs up. They must be secret Trump supporters, and I just released them. Then the Bernie guy stands up and says,
You weren't kidding, were you? You really did vote for Trump.
Well, yeah.
Why? Why would you do such a thing?
I guess I thought it was time to shake things up.
You realize what you've done? You've dragged this country into an abyss so dark no light can penetrate. You've released the jackals of hate to chew out the soul of tolerance. You have elected a madman that can't tell the difference between the Constitution and the gold-plated corncob he uses to wipe his ass.
And then Susan stood up.
You've set women's rights back 1,000 years.
And then another guy.
You've turned our country into a plantation of corporate slaves. And then everybody all at once. You're an idiot, a moron, a zealot, a birther, a basement dweller, a deplorable, a fascist, a bigot, a Jew baiter, a misogynist, a homophobe, a racist!
Hello? Mrs. Solomon? What? I went home right after work and I took a nap and I must have just slept right through it. No, I'll make up for it. I'll go there next Thursday and I'll be there early, even if I have to camp out. No, I don't want to pick up my last check. Hello? Mrs. Solomon? In the face of adversity, a rainbow will guide you to your destiny. What am I doing? I don't have a job anymore. Pray for rain. Back at work, Mrs. Solomon wouldn't see me, so I picked up my last check. Betty tried to put a positive spin on it. I'll tell you what. Go to the anger management class this week, have the facilitator sign off on it, and you send that to Mrs. Solomon, and you do that each week. She'll see you're serious. She'll give you another chance. So I shouldn't give up? Don't give up. You're not giving up on your commitment to Trump, are you? If this is who you are, own it. But nobody gives me a chance. Every time I say Trump, they jump all over me. No one takes the time to listen. Well, I'm listening. Why did you vote for Trump? He's not afraid to lay it all out, even if it makes people angry. He says what I feel. Besides, I thought a businessman would make quick decisions and move on. Is running the government the same as running a business? Look, when my father retired, he was making half of what I was making, but it was enough. Today I'd need 2 jobs just to break even. And it wasn't supposed to be like that. My father said that we lived in the greatest country on earth and that his kids would do better and be smarter than him and that my kids would do better than me. But I wasn't able to afford kids. We've lost our greatness. The road to greatness begins with getting your job back. Remember, you were fired. You're not entitled to unemployment. I hadn't thought of that. Betty was right. I have to get my job back. Next Thursday, here I come. As I approached the anger management class, it was just like I saw in my dream, a gigantic glass tower. I went up to the 23rd floor, I stepped inside, and there were maybe 25 or 30 people, all wearing Hillary shirts.
Don't be afraid. Please come in.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt. I was looking for the anger management workshop.
Of course. And what brought you to the workshop?
Okay, I know how to handle this. Don't tell them what I really did. Just keep my answers short and non-committal, but truthful. If they smell deceit, they'll rip my throat out. I voted for Trump.
There, now. We can see you're experiencing a deep regret.
Of course I regret it. I was supposed to come to this workshop last week and I slept through it and I got fired.
Well, now maybe we can offer some guidance as to what drove you to this desperate act.
What desperate act?
Voting for Trump.
That wasn't a desperate act.
Deplorable act?
No.
Despicable.
What?
Deranged?
Okay, I think I made a big mistake in coming here.
No, I know. Depocagynous?
What do you want from me?
We want you to find peace in your decision.
Of course I'm at peace. It's you people that can't get over it.
Over what?
That Trump won.
Oh. And why did you vote for Trump?
It was the last chance to save America.
I mean, how long can we go on with a government that eats its own young? And I don't care if you think that voting for Trump was a crapshoot. We needed to throw a monkey into the wrench. And if that breaks the schnozzle rod of the drivetrain, well, then so what? We'll just build a new one. One with a powerful engine that'll make America... There it was. That silence. They all shot glances at each other. And then the facilitator nodded his head, and they all pulled out a red nose and attached it to their face. The facilitator approached me, and he handed me a red rubber nose.
Congratulations, you've cleared the hurdle.
What hurdle?
You need a job. We need clowns. In this country, there's a real dearth of clowns, and that's tragic. Funny, but tragic. This is your family. They'll teach you everything you need to know. You'll start with children's birthday parties and work your way up from there.
I don't mean to sound ungrateful, but what does this have to do with my voting for Trump? They all got the joke. But me. The facilitator slapped me on the back.
Welcome to Great American Clowning. I'm Mr. Jolly. You'll be reporting to me. If you're still seeking the anger management workshop, it's on the floor below.
Then he blew a whistle, and out came oversized shoes and baggy pants and fright wigs. That night, I learned how to twist balloon animals, blow a kazoo, and fall on my butt. At which point I nearly gave up, because the fact of the matter is I'm out of shape. But my new clown family assured me that being fat was perfect for clown work. In fact, they said clowning was something I could do for the rest of my life. Then after a week, I got my first birthday party. I named my clown Fortune, the Cookie Clown. And I was nervous, but my clown family assured me that as long as I had a whoopee cushion and toilet paper, I'd keep the kids laughing. And then after a few gigs, I bought a coat with big pockets that I could fill with fortune cookies so the kids could reach into them and pull them out, and all with specially written fortunes. I had to stay in practice for when Mrs. Solomon gives me my job back. Dear Mr. President, what a glorious inauguration. Your American carnage was right on the mark. I lost my job under Obama because I supported you. But under your leadership, the economy has turned around. I have a new job. I hope one day I can share my good fortune with you, perhaps at your next inauguration. Thank you, Mr. President. Stay strong. MAGA. I didn't have the heart to tell him that clowning doesn't pay enough to make ends meet. But as the Trumponomic tide rises, so will my ship of opportunities. No sooner had I mailed that letter than I got a call for a new clowning gig, one that would pay a lot more. I mean, a lot more. The address led me to a ramshackle two-story. I rang the bell. A rather rotund older gentleman answered. He stared at me as if I wasn't expected.
You're not Tinkles.
What? No. I'm Fortune, the Cookie Clown. Tinkles was double booked tonight, but he said everything would be fine. I just had to go with the flow.
You changed to clown. Come.
He led me down a narrow corridor to a small room. Inside the room, the walls were plastered with photos and graphs, timelines, all emanating from an old-time magazine cover.
I want to surprise girls.
Oh, sure, yeah. Hey, I'm really good with kids. I try not to scare them.
What's your point?
What age range are they in?
Not to worry. They are legal.
He shoved a bottle of water at me.
Drink.
Oh, no, I'm fine. Thanks.
Tinkles always drinks a lot of water. Suit yourself.
He never took his eyes on me as I put on my oversized shoes and baggy pants. I pointed to the wall. What kind of work do you do?
Same as you. Get your wig on.
Oh, yeah, okay.
So, that Time magazine cover, is God dead? Is that some sort of joke or something?
April 8th, 1966. That day, left-wing media turned on America. They tried to destroy our faith in one single blow. It backfired. That day, we began our long march to White House.
Oh, so President Trump saved God.
We saved God. Trump is just tool, same as you.
I think he's wonderful.
Of course you do. Now, get your nose on. Follow me.
My host led me through a long hall and stopped at a door at the end. He turned to me.
You keep your focus on girls. Don't be looking at donors. They're very strict about privacy and pay a lot of money to keep it that way.
Sure, it's all about the girls.
Tanya's new at this, but other two no ropes. Okay?
What kind of balloon animals do they like?
Save joke for open mic night.
He opened the door. The stench of cigar smoke and whiskey gagged me. He grabbed me by the elbow and pulled me into the room.
Girls, I have a surprise for you.
I could barely make out through all the smoke the bodies of 3 scantily clad women writhing on a mattress.
Cookie's here to see you.
The women began to protest. No, Cookie, no, no.
Shower them.
Shower?
I may be man of God, but sometimes you have to swallow principles for greater good.
You want me to?
Release God's golden shower of love.
I can't, I don't, I can't do that.
Get your act together, clown.
I'll tell you what, you can take a fortune from my coat. They're real fortunes, not fake ones like you get in most Chinese restaurants. He grabbed me by the collar and pulled me down the hallway, opened the door, and pushed me out into the street.
I'll make sure you never pray to Jesus in this town again.
What a glorious day. I'm alive. I did, however, wet my pants. I found out later that the donors at the shower party had made major contributions to the Donald Trump Defense Fund. What does this country come to? That as soon as a president gets elected, he has to have a defense fund. Anyway, I got fired from that job. And then I got evicted from my apartment. All I had left was my clown costume and a few props. And determination. After all, the Trump wave hadn't fully taken hold yet. That's when I met Betty on the street. Al, I have been looking for you everywhere. It wasn't easy finding you. Oh, well, I had to downsize. Oh, Al, I'm so sorry to be one to have to tell you, but Mrs. Solomon has let all the fortune writers go. She's replaced them with computer-generated fortunes. Why do we keep doing this? Making ourselves irrelevant. And she's outsourced all the shipping. Even the drivers have been laid off. Rashid too? Rashid too. What's he going to do? Well, he joined a group that helps refugees get their American citizenship. Oh, wow. Is that good? It's very good. What about you? I still have my job for now, but I've joined a homeless advocacy group that helps women and children get off the street, provides meals and legal services. Oh, and Marla is running for school board. That's it. Betty, that's it. Now I know why I voted for Trump. Only President Trump could have made Americans look deep into themselves to ask what they really want for their country. Love him or hate him, the country's electrified. More people are doing things. Only someone completely out of the box could have done that. Really, President Trump has saved America. Al, if you need any help. No, I'm good. clowning pays a lot more than I could have imagined. Before we parted, we just kind of stared at each other for a really long time. It was awkward and scary and beautiful. That's when I realized Betty doesn't have blue eyes. I was tempted to take Betty up on her offer for help, but that felt too much like admitting defeat, and I wasn't ready for that. So in full clown regalia, I turned to busking for change. I got thrown out of public parks and shopping centers, and even the Children's Museum. I did best at random gatherings like protests, but never made enough to get off the street. Then one day, I came across a gathering of Trump supporters pushing for the wall, and I tell you, it was refreshing being among like-minded patriots. There I was in full clown costume, ready to entertain, when I felt a little girl tugging at my pants.
Your hair is orange.
Really?
Just like the president.
Do you like the president?
I love him. He's going to build a wall.
It's going to be a big, huge, beautiful wall. Are you Mexican?
Uh-huh. And American.
Why do you want a wall?
To keep my father from coming back and hurting my mother.
Well, we can't have that. So I picked her up and put her on my shoulders so she could see better. And at that point, we came up with our own chant. Build the wall, make it tall, keep the bad out, one and all. And at that point, one of the demonstrators turned around, and he was a big guy with as much muscle as fat, and he walks over to me and he rips off my wig.
Hey, what is this? You making fun of the president?
No, of course not. We were just...
We?
My friend here and me. This is her first...
Are you a pedophile because you're too white to be her father?
No, we support the president.
By making fun of him?
No, of course not. And then he grabs me by the collar and he signals his friends to join him.
Hey, this guy is mocking the president. He and his little brown buddy thinks it's all a big joke.
No, you're getting it all wrong.
Am I? Maybe this'll get it right. I love the president.
Love?
Oh, so you're a faggot.
Oh. I don't know how long I was out, but I remember I dreamed. I was outside of myself, watching me write a letter to you about the dream. Dear Mr. President, I dreamed last night your wife told me you were dying. It wasn't the First Lady. I'm not sure it was your wife, but she told me you wanted to see me and that I had to hurry. I followed her through a thick fog, and at one point I was sure I was lost, but then there you were, floating on a cloud, wearing thick black glasses. You didn't say a word, but as I approached, you got smaller and smaller until you were a baby. And then nothing. You were gone. Not even a stain. The woman, your wife, put her hand on my cheek and said, "Thank you." Her hand slid down my shirt and she began to unbutton it. Now, Mr. President, believe me, if it was your wife, she didn't have an accent. But I wanted her. I wanted to lay with her on that cloud where you evaporated. But I couldn't go through with it. In that dream, I realized I wasn't ready to be president. When I awoke, I was on a plane in flight. My head throbbed.
You write this letter to the president?
What? Where am I?
About the wall, the immigration casinos.
Yes, I wrote it. Who are you?
I'm special advisor to the president from the Office of American Innovation.
I wasn't trying to cause any trouble. I was trying to help.
The president likes your idea. He thinks it's a win for getting the wall through.
He does?
He wants to appoint you wall czar.
Oh, I don't know anything about building a wall or running a casino. I'm just a clown. And not a very good one at that.
You'll fit right in.
The White House! I was escorted in through a side entrance, then down a long hall to an elevator, and then down some more, and then alongside a swimming pool to which the special advisor casually noted,
"This is where JFK banged his 19-year-old intern for a year and a half."
Wow, it's kind of like walking through history.
You wait in this room. I'll see if the president is available.
The room was small, windowless, and eerily quiet, and as I sat down, I felt a lump in my back pocket. She gave me her doll. Then the TV popped on, and there was President Trump making an announcement. His new vision for the wall, and he laid out my entire plan. The casinos that only winners would get in, and how Mexico would pay. Then the special advisor returned.
Oh, you saw it.
Yeah, he didn't mention where he got the idea.
And he won't. The president owns all our ideas. Think of it as a sacrifice you're making for the country. You good with that?
Well, what about the job as wall czar?
We had to say something to get you in here, otherwise you might have refused.
So, I don't get a job?
We're going to take care of you. You'll spend the rest of the administration in these lovely accommodations, all expenses paid.
Why?
We couldn't have you going around selling your "it was my idea" story to the fake news outlets.
My story is not fake.
Fake, not fake. Reality is what you make of it. If enough people believe it, then it's true. Whether or not it actually is true or fake. Perception is everything. Truth, its weak sister.
At that point, the president burst into the room, and I could see the weight of the entire nation on his shoulders.
Where is that stupid bastard?
Which stupid bastard?
My deadbeat lawyer. The Congress is charging me with all kinds of bullshit. The Democratic Socialists have booted Pelosi from the speakership, which totally sucks. I could talk to Nancy. She's smart, strong. I like that in a woman. Did you know she was into physical restraints? Very sexy. Who the hell is this?
This is Al Stone, Mr. President.
What the hell is an Al Stone? Get him out of here!
He's the one who came up with the wall concept.
I'm the one who came up with the... Oh, Al! Tremendous idea. That was one crazy ass plan. Everybody is over the moon about the wall. But listen, Al, we're not going to make America great again if they impeach me. We've got to do something.
And then he walked over to me and he took my hands in his.
I need you to do something for me.
I couldn't believe it. There I was, grasping those soft, delicate hands, no longer looking over a candlelit table in my imagination. This was reality.
Some gutless senators in my own party are talking treason. I have to make them feel my power. I need you to help me fulfill my most important campaign promise.
Mr. Stone has not been fully vetted yet.
I'm vetting him now. I can see we have a chemistry.
I looked into those eyes and trembled.
I need to shoot someone on Fifth Avenue.
This must be how Joan of Arc felt when she heard the voice.
No president has ever tweeted or brought North Korea to its knees or cured the world of a raging plague.
or shot someone in plain sight, I'll be the first to do all that. I'll be the father of the new America. America! The reboot!
That's when I realized the president's eyes were blue. A hard, metallic-like blue that, when I looked into them, I could see a reflection of myself.
But there's a hitch. You've got to be evil. Americans insist that their villains be evil. Can you be evil?
I'm a clown.
Perfect. They can't accuse me of being a racist if I shoot a clown, can they? Clowns aren't a race, are they? Doesn't matter. I stopped the clown conspiracy, and they carved my face on Rushmore.
You alone can sculpt it.
I'll have my special advisor work out the details of the clown conspiracy.
I love you, Mr. President.
The last guy who said that to me turned state's evidence.
And then he put his hands on my shoulders and leaned over to kiss both cheeks.
"2 p.m. tomorrow, 721 Fifth Avenue. Be there."
I was, and so were mobs of reporters and cameras and the curious. I was entertaining the crowd with my toilet paper and whoopee cushion when at 2 p.m. the doors to Trump Tower opened and out strode the president. I swear he saw me, but then he hesitated. And that's when I noticed the glint of sun off a piece of steel protruding through the heads of the cheering crowd. Suddenly, I am airborne, streaking across the line of fire. The impact spins me around, and a sharp pain rips through my shoulder. I fall into a fever dream as they whisk me away, sirens screaming. Now look, I'm not a hero. All I did was what any patriot would have done. What any of you would have done. Save the president's life from an assassin's bullet. And as a kind of reward, I guess, the House Democrats, who couldn't decide on who to replace Pelosi with, found bipartisan support and elected me Speaker of the House. No, really. Who knew you didn't have to be a member of Congress to be elected Speaker? Any adult American. And in my case, I think they figured, well, I wasn't a member of any party, and I was willing to take the bullet. And when they found out that the immigration casinos were my idea and were paying off big time, they figured that once the entire wall is finished, the national debt will be paid off in 5 years. Woo-hoo! My only regret was that I couldn't stop them from impeaching President Trump for a second time, for all the things they falsely accused him of. So to save the country the national anguish, he resigned. But not before he made a deal for one hell of a golden parachute. I mean, the guy's kind of like King Midas. And then just before the vice president was sworn in, he disappeared. Yeah, vanished. Just like that. And some figure that Pence got swept up in the rapture, but I don't know. So few were chosen, I don't think anybody's going to miss them. So that meant I was next in line. One day, you're fired from your job, then you're evicted from your apartment, you're living on the street, busking for change, and the next day, you're president of the United States! Is this a great country or what? I was going to ask Betty to fill out the vice president's term, but she had a whole new idea for a new cabinet position. Department of the Future. She says we can never go back to what was normal before the pandemic. So, the truth is, I am in love. I can smell it. Those of you who have been in love, you know what I'm talking about. So I'm going to nominate Betty for First Lady. Gosh, being president is a hoot. And that's going to be my agenda. Make America Hoot again! Oh, wait, I promised you an answer. You want to know what's inside? Go to my Instagram page at CRAPSHOOT_Al and comment on the post with my manifesto to make America hoot again, and I will send you your own personal fortune.